Hey, thoughtful gardener. Well, there are new trends this year in the garden in 2025. So let's talk about how you can incorporate them in your own backyard. Trend number one is the mini meadow. I am so excited about this trend. I actually installed a 10,000 square foot meadow for a client last year, but I love the idea of turning your garden beds into a paradise for pollinators. And this trend is being spurred on by the industry and your interest in native plants. So if you're already working on natives to your area, congratulations, you're ahead of the trend, and I'm looking forward to less formal gardens. Trend number two is right plant, right place. Essentially, what they're talking about is these ecological communities. So, not just planting one plant, but planting plants that are friends and like to be together. These may be plants that enjoy the same ecology, meaning the same soil and water and light conditions, but also that have a relationship with one another. Now, this is a very complex topic, but what it's talking about is really thinking more strategically about the plants that you are incorporating into your garden to make them a haven for wildlife. And so that means shelter, it means food, and it means a place for them to raise their young. So it's really thinking about gardening differently, not so necessarily about making it look perfect, but making it perfect for your wildlife. Trend number three is a emphasis on soil health. Now we're seeing this in the new administration where we're finding that they're putting people in the agriculture department that are focused on regenerative soil techniques as well as organic gardening. So we're going to be hearing more and more about this trend from the experts who actually do this on their farms. So I'm super excited because a lot of our soil is very depleted due to the techniques that have been used, like tilling, and a lot of inputs that are required because of the tilling we do to the soil. So it's about no-dig gardening techniques. If you're interested in learning more about no-dig gardening, I have a video right here. We do this in our own vegetable garden. It's from a gardener in England called Charles Dowding. I highly recommend his channel. It's really great to talk about soil and how we make our soil healthier so it supports all the microorganisms and in turn makes our food more nutrient dense. The next trend is really about being water wise with gravel and sand gardening. I like this technique because it's really great for your areas that are experiencing long periods of drought. Here in Pennsylvania, ironically, we've had 2 seasons with drought. One is spring, 6 weeks no rain, and last summer, no rain for 6 weeks again. So these trends are really meant to be helpful, especially in areas that have high fire risk. I also am seeing pictures out of California from the recent fires where not only the plant selection, but the types of materials used to prevent the fire from spreading. A lot of that was gravel and architecture that actually helped reduce the fire chance of destroying the home. And so super exciting to see these techniques being implemented that are helping preserve our structures. The next trend is about repurposing materials. I actually made a video about this last year. The government said that home gardeners should stop gardening because we were using way too many new materials like raised beds. You can see that video right here. The point being is that it's great if you can to reuse things you might have in your house, both structures that might allow things to climb like an old shutter, or perhaps in my case, we had a really bad storm last year and several limbs that were hollow got knocked down, which I then used once they were cut up as planters. So it's really fun to repurpose materials in the garden, and there's no reason you shouldn't try this trend. Another trend related to a more naturalistic garden is wildlife gardening. Now, this is a fun trend, especially if you are a butterfly gardener, a birder, or if you love things like amphibians and turtles. In my particular case, I had a patch of these wild, beautiful mayaples that popped up in my yard, and I didn't know this, and maybe you do. The eastern box turtle absolutely loves the fruit of the mayapple. So it was interesting several years ago that before the pollinators started to arrive, I had turtles everywhere. They literally were all over the garden, and I found that they love this particular fruit. So if you see mayaples, which is a ephemeral. It comes up in my garden, ironically, under my walnut trees, and they absolutely love it. So the fruit, for the record, is poisonous to humans when it's not ripe. So I don't recommend that you eat it unless you know perfectly that it's ripe. And further, I want to leave it for the turtles. Vertical gardening. Now, I love vines. Isn't it divine to have vines in the garden? Especially for me as a butterfly gardener, I love the pipe vine. Now, pipe vine requires 50 feet to grow. So it's possible that you could grow it vertically and make it like a hedge. I have seen this technique done and it actually looks really fantastic. The pipe vine caterpillar uses this as their host plant, and they eat in groups like little hungry hippos. And so it's really fun because they'll literally strip this vine down to almost nothing. This is true as well of the passion flower vine, which is native here to Pennsylvania. It hosts our fritillaries. Now, I haven't seen the fritillaries use it, but the flowers are divine, and I absolutely love the fruit too. It is the passion fruit. So if you're interested in growing these, you definitely want to make sure you have the right soil conditions and that you have enough of an area for these things to trellis. A lot of people trellis the pipe vines up things like oak trees, which is completely fine, but these little hungry caterpillars can eat you out of house and home. So you definitely want to be prepared when you walk out and there's no leaves. That's a great sign. The next trend is gardening that's designed for mental health and well-being. Did you know that gardens that are seen from hospital rooms result in shorter patient stays? Listen up, hospitals. Maybe you want more green space for your patients. The good news is that we know that spending time outside is healing. And this is a great trend if you're interested in helping not only yourself, but maybe your kids and your family members have a better mental health by seeing things that are green. We know that even if you can just see a tree from your office window, you're more productive. And so when I chose this office, I chose it specifically for a very beautiful maple tree that come October stills the entire show. It's about 30 feet tall and it's covered in red-orange leaves. So I just love to be able to see this tree from the window. Furthermore, maple trees are one of the hosts for caterpillars. And so lots and lots of birds visit this tree because they're eating those caterpillars as well as feeding them to their young. So I definitely recommend thinking about when you are building your garden to build things that you can see from your windows so you can appreciate the garden as an extension of your home. The other trend is forest gardening. Now, this is great news for Pennsylvanians that have lots of land. Our Pennsylvania government wants to convert 10,000 acres by 2027 to additional forest or to meadows. So if you have a large piece of land and you don't want to maintain it anymore, maybe you apply for one of these grants to be able to create a forest. And that's really, really exciting for not only you, but for all of the nature that's going to come and visit that. I will say that they have found that trees are very important to your health because the trees release oxygen and they also release chemicals to protect themselves. When you're in a forest, you breathe those chemicals in, and it's shown to have a protective effect for up to 48 hours. That's pretty cool. So you're not only getting lots of oxygen when you're in the forest, but you are also protecting your health. So I love this trend of forest gardening. I definitely think you need to know about maintaining your forest. That's just as important as planting the forest. You want to make sure that you're getting rid of the dead wood that potentially would litter the forest floor, and being responsible in removing the invasive vines. So if you're interested in forest gardening, you also need to take some courses on how to maintain that forest so that you make sure that it's not a fire hazard and that it's a safe place for your family and for nature. I hope these garden trends are something you'll think about in 2025. What gardening trends are you looking forward to in planting in your garden? Leave me a message below. That not only helps the algorithm, but it helps other people find this channel because they recognize that you're interested in what we have to say. You're interested in us making a video just for you? Let us know what gardening topics you'd like to hear more about. Garden thoughtfully and take care.